Lupino?
So we have nominations open. We have position of party chairman. Yeah, Mr. Gregory Fernandez. So thank you. We nominated by Karen De Freitas, the Martin North constituency. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Karen.
Yeah.
I do not MSJ elections. So hung up.
I'll send you a message.
Okay.
Right.
The office is deputy chief. Deputy Chairman. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for coming. Yes. Session of elections officer. Thank you very much.
What time do you?
Huh?
What time do you?
Yes, no. Five first.
5 past 7.
Thank you very much. For the photographers, we're just going to take a brief smile, but the cameras can't see our smile behind the glass.
Or just a thumbs up or something, yeah? He's like a couple of remote, right? Yeah. Remote? No, not there. There. Come. Right. Yeah. See if they can give me a thumbs up.
Right. Morning to members of the media. Thank you very much for coming this morning for the nomination exercise for the National Executive of the MSJ, which is for the executive term of office for the period 2021 to 2024. As we announced through our party chair, Gregory Fernandez, at our press conference on Sunday last, term of office actually would have come to an end in 2020, but the Activist Council extended the period to March, April, so that we could address the challenges that we had last year of coming out of the general elections and then with COVID and other factors like that. So the nomination exercise is continuing this morning here at our party office, and I'm very happy to be leading a team where we have a number of new persons coming on the executive, and we have a tremendous gender balance. In fact, I think we have 7 women and 6 men on the executive, and that is a major commitment of the MSJ to ensure that at our leadership level we have 50% at least of our leadership being women. We have quite a few young people on the executive as well, and we have 5 new persons joining us on the party executive, some of whom of course have been activists or members for a long time, others for less of a period. But the new members joining the executive will create a new energy, new dynamic. They'll bring new ideas and experiences to the party's leadership, and therefore this will help us to reinvigorate ourselves. At our party assembly in December last year, I said that the MSJ is real, we are relevant, and that we are reinvigorated. And this process here of democratic renewal with our executive elections, democratic process of the elections, and then on the 18th of April, our party congress, all of this is the democratic process, and this is part of the renewal and reinvigoration that a democratic processes enable. And so, very happy to say that a number of members who are returning on my team, of course we have to wait till 4 o'clock this afternoon to know if we are unopposed, but the members of my team, Gregory Fernandez as the party chair is continuing. Melissa Aguilera-Gregg, who previously held the position of Social Services Officer, is now the Deputy Chairperson. Radhika Galbansu has been our Deputy Political Leader for the last term, is returning as Deputy Political Leader, and General Secretary Ozzy Warwick is returning. The Assistant General Secretary is someone new, Roxanne Davis. Roxanne is a professional herself, a lot of experience in administration, former Petrotrain worker, and she will bring that administrative ability and competence to the work of administration of the party, which is critical as we consolidate and organize ourselves in a strong way to go forward to take on the challenges of the period. We have returning as elections officer Ernesto Kiza. He's no stranger, of course, to the party, and he's returning as our elections officer. Our treasurer, Franca James, is also returning in that position. We have Angelo Hart as education officer. He's moving from the Youth for Social Justice chairperson to the education officer, which is something that he's very excited about. He went to Brazil some years ago and went through a whole program of training trainers in Brazil, so he's going to bring a lot to the table as our education officer. We have a new person coming in as our international relations officer. That's Karen De Freitas. She speaks fluent Spanish and French, and of course English, and is really working in the field of international relations, participating in conferences with me by Zoom. And so she's our international relations officer, a young person, and we bring a dynamism to that position of international relations. We also have a new person in the position of public relations officer, Joanne De Freitas, who has been a member for very many years, working currently in the financial services sector, but previous to that was an activist in the labor movement, both with the Bank Employees Union and then the Banking, Insurance and General Workers Union, and later on manning or being responsible for the Caribbean office of a global trade union federation, UNI. So Joanne has a tremendous wealth of experience, and she's going to be our public relations officer. As our social services officer, we have another young person, young woman, Stacey Ann Spence Graves, and she's going to be our social services officer, and she will bring her own capability and administrative skills to ensuring that we provide support for our members and then going out into the wider community thereafter. Our party organizer is someone new to that position, but is not a founding member of the MSJ, Annie Bogoti, former branch president of the Point of Bear branch of the Office Workers Trade Union, so he has a lot of experience in organizing and managing organizations. And I'm just going through by memory our positions to see if I missed any positions. But those are the 13 members of our executive team. And I've just seen if I missed anyone as I've gone through the list. Party organizer, education officer, international relations, social services, public relations officer, assistant treasurer, assistant general secretary, deputy chair, political leader, deputy political leader. So I missed one position which I'll come back to in a moment. But we have Franca James, the party treasurer, yes, who is returning as party treasurer. So we have a dynamic team, and I'm sure that this team is going to work very well, and we will, at our party congress on the 18th, outline, once of course we are elected unopposed, or if there's a challenge that we are elected on the 11th of April, which is the date for voting, assuming that there's any challenge. On the 18th of April, we will outline in the party congress the plan of work for the party going forward as we tackle the very many crises in this country, all the injustices that are taking place, the problems of the criminal justice system that has collapsed, the issue of the economy which is in a state of collapse, people who are unemployed, people who don't have any income coming in to put food on the table, and so on. The school system where children are struggling and parents are struggling and teachers are struggling with this online system, and all of these issues, the situation in our communities which are crying out in need for so many services and so much more. All of these issues we'll be tackling in our work programs. Workers who are not represented by unions but who are being exploited by the employers because the workers don't know their rights. We're going to go on a campaign around that as well. So there are many issues that we'll be taking up as we challenge the status quo, those who control economic and political power in this country and who have used that economic and political power, these controllers, in their own selfish interests, and in many cases for greed and corruption and so on, and at the expense of the majority of people who are carrying the burden of the crisis in the country and who are drowning under that burden, and as they are unable to keep their heads above water and put food on their tables. So we are going to be taking up that struggle against the controllers of economic and political power, those controllers who have this country in the state that it is in, the crisis that it is in, and that have caused so many of our people to be suffering today. And we'll be therefore fighting on behalf of the many against the few controllers who are suffering the rest of us in Trinidad today. Thank you.